Other hot headlines for you. Turf Paradise says they plan to start giving pre-race vet exams to all horses on some days to try and cut back on a recent rise in horse deaths. A recent study by the Arizona Department of Gaming found 50 horses were euthanized last season at the track, mostly after suffering leg or ankle injuries during a race. That's twice the national number.
There's been a big bust along the border in El Paso, Texas. The Border Patrol there says they took in more than 700 illegal immigrants into custody this week. Those arrests happened between Tuesday evening and Wednesday afternoon. Among those busted, 2 convicted sex offenders and an unaccompanied 2-year-old child. The Border Patrol has compiled a list of 59 people to stop and question. Most of them are American citizens. That's according to documents obtained by an NBC station in San Diego. Several people on that list confirmed to NBC News they had been stopped for questioning. They were told it was part of a, quote, national security investigation. 10 of the people on the Border Patrol's list are journalists, 7 of them U.S. citizens.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen in the hot seat before a House committee investigating President Trump's border policies. The Homeland Security Secretary backed the president, calling the situation at the border a crisis and a national emergency. It was Democrats' first questioning of Nielsen since they took over the House. The House has already voted to reject the president's emergency declaration for the wall, and the Senate is expected to do the same sometime next week. The president says he will veto that action. So, as he predicted, it will likely wind up in court.